Alright, how's it going? And welcome. This is basically going to be a day in my life. So I'm going to run you through a full day of what pretty much a typical day looks like for me. And we're pretty much going to do a whole full day of eating. I'm going to take you through a training session and all the nitty-gritty stuff in between as well. So right now it is about 9:30 a.m. I woke up this morning, had a little bit of quiet time, went to go do some cardio, and pre-cardio what I always like to do is take 10 milligrams of yohimbine, and then I do 500 milligrams of carnitine, and we go and do the fasted cardio. It's literally just an incline walk on the treadmill, gets the heart going, sits at around 120 beats per minute, and then we come up here and we have breakfast. So what we've got going right now is one tomato, some cucumber, a grapefruit. I've got some fat-free yogurt and some baked beans. I've got 3 dates, and then we're gonna make 4 eggs, one without the yolk, and 50 grams of sourdough toast and some casein. So I like to use casein. It is a little bit more slow release. Funny enough, people think it's very slow release. It's actually just less quick or slower than a whey protein, but it's not as slow as something like chicken or other sort of meat. People think it's like super slow, but it's actually not that slow. It's like the second fastest next to whey actually. Anyway, so we're gonna get cracking. I also have a cup of coffee in the morning as well. So I'm gonna get going with that, and then then we'll see what the finished product looks like. Alright, so before we get into the breakfast, what I typically take before breakfast is my morning little stack, and it's going to be omega-3, it's going to be vitamin C, 500 milligrams, vitamin B complex, some TUDCA and some Cialis for a good amount of blood flow. And then I've got my little concoction here. Now this I take every morning. It's basically, just to remember, 10 grams of creatine, 5 grams of taurine, 500 milligrams of Garcinia cambogia, 250 milligrams of elemental magnesium, and what else? 5 grams of glutamine. Might have missed one. 400 IUs of vitamin E and 5,000 IUs of vitamin D. So that goes down every morning. So let's get cracking. Alright, so we've got breakfast ready to go right now, and I'm going to just run through the calories. So for this, it is 827 calories, 75.8 grams of protein, 17.6 grams of fat, 84.8 grams of carbs. And one little thing that I like to do, if you haven't tried it yet, is my casein. It does work with whey, but it's a little bit more grainy and sandy with whey. It's a lot smoother with casein. Is I like to have it like a hot chocolate. So a little bit of cold or room temperature water with the powder, mix it up till it's nice and thick, and then you slowly add hot water or boiling water, and it becomes literally like hot chocolate, given that you pick a chocolate flavor. Anyway, I'm going to dig into this and enjoy. I'll catch you in the next one. Alright, so we are now on our way to a market. This is where I get all of my vegetables, fruit, and kind of miscellaneous stuff. Not my meats. So I actually order all of my meat sources from a place called Australand, which is a wonderful company. Fresh produce. They deliver 30 packs of lean ostrich mince to my door every 3 weeks, which is fantastic. But everything else I pretty much get from this market, and then there's some things that I do need to get from just a normal supermarket, but this place is just absolutely amazing, like the freshest vegetables you will ever find in your life, and at a very good price as well. So always make my way on a Tuesday, make my way there. So I'm going to take you through what that looks like, and hopefully they have got my spinach ready for me, because the last 2 weeks in a row I've rocked up there and the spinach wasn't delivered. So hopefully today, fingers crossed, they'll have my 14 packs of spinach ready for the next week. So yeah. Alright, I'm going to take you through what we get up to in this market. So first things first, I need to check if my spinach is here. Going to get some mushrooms as well for the evenings. I'm going to grab 2 of these. So I like the purple sweet potato and not the orange ones. These are awesome, 2 kilos for like $50, I think. So I grabbed 2 of those for the week. Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I think it's
Thank you, brother.
okay.
Okay. So that's 14 packs of spinach, so 2 for each day for the next week. And then we grab about 4 kilos of pumpkin. Also for my evening meal, final meal. I always just kind of need to add up here how much this is. Here we go, 4 kilos. And every 2 weeks or so, grab 7 kilos of potato. Okay, next up. I have my grapefruit for mornings. These are looking very fresh. So half for one a day. Cucumber. Got plenty of tomatoes left, so that's good. It's still looking a little green, but that's alright. These are very green. I might actually get a box instead. These are a bit more yellow. How many are in here? 2 kilo box. I'll just grab one of these. This little area, keep my eyes away from. These yogurt dates are incredible. But one of those packs, 200 grams, is like 800 calories. I think that is our trip. Soos 14 van hierdie.
Oh, Nati gaan nou hy 10 bring.
Bye. Well, it's funny, I usually get strange looks in there, but today with the camera coming around, there was a lot more stairs. Okay, so that was about, what, 600 Rand? Just under, for a week's worth of pretty much most of my carb sources. The only one that's missing really is my sourdough, which I get from a special person for a very good price and very good quality and very fresh as well. But yeah, that is my weekly carb intake basically. Okay, so we are now on the way to the gym, Genesis Barbell, my little baby. Yeah, and then today pretty much we've got, I'm just going to get there, I'm going to get some work done, get some programming done for my clients, and then we'll have a lovely leg day, which I will run you through. Yeah, and then we'll get I'll have a meal before then, a meal after, and then I've got 2 more meals for the day. So I get in about 5 meals right now. It used to be just 4 meals a day, especially heading into the cut that I finished beginning of this year. I was about 6 weeks ago, 6-7 weeks or so, and with that cut ending, pretty much like reverse dieted my way up to this point. I'm now in my 3rd week of a surplus, so calories have been bumped up. I think I finished my cut at around 2,300 calories, which for me is exceptionally low, and really struggled big time, and bumped our way up now, sitting at a total of 3,850 currently, and very anxious to push it up to 4,000. Next week we'll push it up, but I'm going to run you through all of the food intake throughout the day. Feeling so much better now, energy wise, performance wise, and not thinking of food as much, even though I still do. Funny enough, even at 3,850 calories, I am still hungry, and I still need to stop myself from like grabbing anything in the fridge, which is a little bit nuts. But we're handling it well, which is great. Okay, welcome to Genesis Barbell. This is my little baby, my gym. If you don't know, it's a powerlifting gym in the Western Cape in the northern suburbs. So if you haven't been here or haven't heard of us, come have a visit. And just gonna pack my stuff in, get some work done, and then we'll have our pre-workout meal. Okay, so just cut up, this is 500 grams of sweet potato. This I'm going to throw into the microwave to steam. Nice little tip that I can give you is when you are cooking your vegetables, something like potatoes or sweet potatoes, very easy, don't boil it. You'll essentially also lose a whole lot of the micronutrients in there into the water, which you then just toss out. Cut it up, put it into a Tupperware. Get something to enclose it. This is very important, otherwise it's just going to get like super hard and crisp on the outside and raw on the inside. So essentially just close it, put it in the microwave, and then it steams. Also doesn't take long, that'll be like 11 minutes and then it's done. While this happens, I go and do 10 minutes on the bike, and that's basically just going to be getting my body a little bit more insulin sensitive, and then when I have my meal, the muscles are pretty much just open and ready for glucose. Just a little trick while the food's cooking. I sit on the bike, 10 minutes, quick sticks before every meal. Just makes it a whole lot better, more efficient, better distribution of the nutrients. So I'm gonna hop on the bike and chat to some clients, get all of that sorted, and then we come and have our meal. Okay, so sweet potato is done. You can come have a look here. This is properly steamed and it's super soft. So use that trick. Now we're going to do some spinach. We should just cut a hole, 200 grams in this pack. I'll have half of that now and the other half for the later meal. And then we will get our magnesium bisglycinate. Okay, we're going to do 2 scoops of that to give us 200 milligrams of pure magnesium, and just mix that in water. And now I'm going to have my I'm going to have my next batch here. So we're going to do another omega, some apple cider vinegar for the digestion and the glucose management. This is N-acetyl-L-cysteine, and then I think this is zinc, yeah. And we're going to chug that down. Alright, so we've got 180 grams of cooked chicken breast. with a bunch of spices on, paprika, what else do I put on there? Turmeric, oregano, whatever you want to say, salt, pepper, all of that. 500 grams of sweet potato, 100 grams of spinach, and then just my Stony Zero and some green tea. And that's meal number 2. That should put us at calorically 713 calories, 69.1 grams of protein, 7.1 grams of fat, 104.9 grams of carbs. So that's a pre-workout meal. Then we're going to wait about an hour before we get ready, warmed up for our leg session. Okay, so we're going to get ready to train some legs, and usually this time of day I get a bit of a dip in my energy. Today is not so bad, even though the heat is pretty tremendous. Anyway, I'm cooking up my intro workout. So this is 10 grams of BCAAs. That's just to help reduce the breakdown of tissue while training. I know a lot of people are a little bit skeptical about the BCAA thing. I am too. I'm giving it a go. Anyway, it also costs me like barely anything, so I can get bulk. So I might as well throw it in. But then we've got something called Super Carb from Endurade. This is quite nice. It's cyclic dextrin, very, very well priced as well. And I chuck in half a scoop, which is 12.5 grams of cyclic dextrin. That gets chucked in there as well, just to provide the glucose throughout the training session. So I'm going to throw that in, and then pre-workout, depending on what time of day I train, with my carnitine that I have in the morning. If I train as early as I do now, that should sustain me throughout the session. Otherwise, I will have another 250 milligrams before my session. Today with an earlier session though, I'll take it after my session to help clear the acyl groups. Anyway, but what I do pre-workout only on my leg days is something called DADA, diisopropylamine dichloroacetate. Very hard thing to pronounce. Anyway, I get it in this little concoction that comes alongside niacin, magnesium, potassium, sodium, and some ATP as well, injectable. And basically what DADA does is it keeps fluxing glucose into the mitochondria. So usually we've got this phosphoglycolysis happening, right? And then right before the pyruvate enters the mitochondria, it kind of converts into lactate as an easier source or quicker source of ATP production. With the DADA, in between sets or with longer sets, it takes that extra pyruvate and fluxes it into the mitochondria for extra long-term ATP. So this is a great thing. I do this twice a week on my main lower body days, and it's got a very long half-life, which is great. So it kind of acts throughout the week. Anyway, so we're getting this down as well, and then we shall hit our training session. Alright, so we're going to start off with some foam rolling, and purely for blood flow. Everyone goes, oh, foam rolling doesn't do anything, stretching doesn't do anything. All it does for me is just blood flow. Stretching I do sometimes just to feel that muscle under this like lengthened position. Yeah. Anyway, today's session will pretty much be a variation of a deadlift. So I'm pretty much focusing on mostly hypertrophy type training. So I'll have one set of a beltless stiff bar deficit deadlift happening, and then I'll go into the rest of my session purely hypertrophy focused. Yeah, so we've got belt squats, we've got Bulgarian split squats, and we've got belt RDLs. And then we've got one upper back movement, the chest assisted T-bar row, just for some extra back volume. My split is very interesting at the moment, to say the least. Training legs 5 times every 2 weeks, so like 2.5 sessions a week basically. and then I train upper back every second day. I train triceps 5 times every 2 weeks, chest 5 times every 2 weeks. What else is there? Biceps 4 times a week, delts 4 times a week, and that's about it. This just helps me spread my volume out better, harder sessions, better recovery, systemically and locally. Yeah, so we'll just get into it and I'll stop talking. Grab myself just some caffeine. I usually don't do a pre-workout when I'm in a surplus, basically doing hypertrophy training and all of that. Because it's not really needed, and all the things I get in a pre-workout I just have in my supplement stack already. But the caffeine, I think I need it today, so we're gonna chug that down. But this is our little station for this session. I'm gonna do my deadlifts, my belt squats, Bulgarians, come back to the belt rodeos. So yeah. So we've got some belt squats now. I throw on some decently strong bands, just because the bottom of the movement is the most difficult, and yeah, just keeps super heavy tension at the top end of the range. Got some blocks here to improve the range of motion. I'm a big range of motion junkie, so I want to get the most depth as possible in our squat patterns. There are some warm-ups, and then yeah, also for you powerlifters out there, unless you're using the belt squat as a highly specific movement similar to the squat, same stance, position, everything, unless you're doing it for that reason, no need to wear knee sleeves. I see that everywhere, people wearing knee sleeves for pendulum squats, for hack squats, for leg presses. Take the knee sleeves off, you're not squatting, there's no need to put them on, you go raw. 2 minutes, 30 seconds on the clock. I've got basically 2 top sets or working sets, and then not a drop set, but a third set that's a little bit higher reps, 3/4 partial or lengthened partials. We've got 2 minutes, 30 seconds rest. So yeah, 3 total sets. I'm 1 in, 1 down. Let's make it happen. Lengthened partials for a squat pattern is not fun. Just no break at the top. and I breathe just fine. That's not the problem. You can feel that muscle is just not getting a break. Yeah, it's a little bit daunting because you don't want to fail something like this or a hack squat. It's not a nice thing to fail on. You get stuck at the bottom, and usually in a little bit of agony. So yeah. This is good stuff. So, Bulgarian split squats with a little bit of an assist. Not really an assist, but just stability, right? Holding onto the rack or kind of just guiding myself. And a squat wedge for more knee flexion, staying more upright. Barely putting any pressure on this bench. So just a little tip when doing your lunges or Bulgarian split squats. You don't want your leg like that on the bench. Just want the tip of your toe, just to keep you stable. Yeah, and then we've got a weighted backpack. So don't like holding dumbbells or a bar on my back. It's just very unstable. Grip gives way. Yeah, it's just a lot better stability-wise for a weighted backpack. So 25 kilos. Let's go. Okay, so I'm sweating like crazy. Just finished Bulgarian split squats. 3 sets on that, 2.5 minutes rest. Given that there's about 15-20 seconds between legs, I give myself a little bit more time to rest for those simply because it's so taxing. Anyway, now I'm just going to catch my breath and then stack the plates for belt RDLs. If you have never done this movement, I highly recommend it if you have a belt squat machine. I think I've seen it once before in my life on social media or wherever, and someone called it a belt squat good morning. Other than that, I feel like I have the right to claim this as my exercise because I kind of thought of it back when I first got the belt squat as an alternative to like an RDL movement where we're not loading the spine, right? And I just since then have not heard of anyone talking about it, utilizing it, so I'm claiming this, the belt RDL. So I'm going to show you how that goes. We've got, again, just 3 working sets. Not because that's the magic number, it's just purely how volume is worked out on my block right now. And once again, 2 main working sets and then a higher rep back down set or final set. And then we'll hop into 1 row pattern, chest assisted T-bar row, and then we'll be done with leg day with a bit of back. chest assisted T-bar rows, and don't typically like to go all too heavy with this. I've got my row patterns, my pull down work that I go really heavy with. This is not one of them. It's a lot more focus on keeping the scaps retracted throughout the movement, and really just thinking about what that lat is doing with the humerus coming towards the torso. So yeah, keeping it on the lighter end, really focusing on contracting the lats, getting the feel for it, and yeah, 3 sets of that, and then we're done. That is leg day done. Guess what? That's not the last of training for today. I mean, besides my 10-minute cycle / walk, whatever I decide to do on the day and how hot it is outside. Tuesdays and Thursdays I train twice. Second session being a whole lot shorter and very low intensity. Well, not low intensity, but smaller muscle groups. Tonight, before we head back home, I will be doing just one bicep movement and one delt movement, and then we skedaddle. But right now, first thing you want to do after training is get some food down and get into as much of a parasympathetic state as possible. So relaxing. Obviously in preps and things like that, if you need to throw in cardio extra after your sessions, it is okay and understandable, but for now we just want to maximize hypertrophy. So I'm going to get the sweat off me and put on a different shirt, and then we're going to get some cereal down. And today we are trying a new cereal, which I'm very excited for. I'm a big cereal fanatic, so yeah, we'll see how that goes down. My green tea is finished. That sucks. Let's see what else we got in here. We've got what's this? Strawberry and watermelon tea. Why not? Don't want to get in too many coffee cups a day, so we go with tea. Just more fluid, you know. Honestly, at this point, the amount of tea and other sugar-free soft drinks I drink is genuinely still for my appetite, just to make me feel fuller when I have a meal. Crazy. Alright, so next meal we'll have in a moment is going to be 170 grams of ostrich mince, and I like to make my own little burger patties with them. Chuck in a whole bunch of cumin and paprika, smoked paprika. What else do I put in? Salt, pepper, some garlic powder, some mustard powder as well. And yeah, we'll have that. And the rest of the spinach, the other 100 grams. And then some cereal. So today, we're gonna have 135 grams of this Kit Kat cereal that I've never tried before, not available in this country. Had a friend bring it from the UK. I'm very excited. I love Kit Kat, and these funny little cereals are always nice to go for. And I have this with 250 mils of oat milk. If you have never tried oat milk with your cereal, try it. It is so much nicer in my opinion, and obviously low in calories. Not as much protein, of course, but that's why we eat meat, right? Let's get to it. Okay, so we've got the homemade patties. Got spinach with some popcorn sprinkles. This is a little trick that I like to put on my spinach and my potatoes, actually. Really, really nice. just kind of tried it spontaneously and it was fantastic. Then we've got, again, 200 milligrams of elemental magnesium and 10 grams of collagen. And I'm going to chug my subs down. Once again, we've got some NAC, an omega-3, some apple cider vinegar, and then MSM. So we're going to chug that down. The reason this is so discolored is you want to get a hold of a bone broth of some kind for your collagen, because usually when you go for a collagen, it's going to be type 1, type 3, maybe some other types. What we're looking for is type 2, because we want the joints to get that collagen synthesis going. And 1 and 3 is going to be more for like skin and hair and things like that, where collagen type 2, which you usually only find in some sort of broth or something, like a bone broth, that's what we want for the joints, so hence this.
Hartstikke lekker gritty.
Okay, then we've got our Kit Kat cereal, which I'm going to give a go now, and the oat milk. I'm going to get stuck into the main food, and then we'll see how this tastes. Okay, so time for the cereal testing. I'm going to get my 250 mils going in. I know this is grams, but I mean 1-to-1 ratio, right? Typically. Let's not go too far over. There we go. That should be fine. Okay. I'm super excited for this. The amount of excitement I get for cereal is a little bit strange, actually. Let's give it a go. Definitely tastes really good. Very much like very much like chocolate Oaties. Is it the chocolate Oaties? The balls though, not the circular ones. I'm actually not sure if they come in the chocolate flavor comes in the circular ones, the donut shape. Very much similar to Oaties though, the chocolate one. Interesting, but really good, especially with oat milk. I'd give it a 7.5 out of 10, which is really good. I mean, I've never had a 10 out of 10. I like to keep my ratings realistic. But you can't go wrong with chocolate. Chocolate is bad. Okay. And this is super good. So I'm going to finish this, enjoy myself, and then, let's go through the macros for this meal. It is alright, we've got I didn't really bunch this up together properly, but with the ostrich and the spinach, 314.5 calories. The cereal, 633, so it'll be about 947.7. 46.6 grams of protein from the mince and spinach, 13.3 from this, 12.8 grams of fat from the savory, 5.6 grams from this, 4 grams of carbs from the savory, basically just the spinach, and then 139.8 grams of carbs with the cereal. So yeah, then I'll catch you at the next meal. So we've got day 2. I'm just going to write here, drop, up until it's like, okay, it's not managed. Alright, so we've got our meal 4 going down. Smallest meal of the day by far. It's 120 grams of ostrich mince once again, and then we've got 200 grams of potato, and got our magnesium again, which we'll chug down now. One medium banana, roughly about 120 grams, and I've got some coffee. This will add up to 405 calories, 37.7 grams of protein, 5.1 grams of fat, 48.2 grams of carbs. And yeah, after this, give it a little bit of time to digest, and then we will hit buys and dults, as the second session for the day should be 15 minutes, 20 minutes max. Yeah, just finished 10 minutes of cardio while this was cooking up. So yeah, we'll get this down and then get to training, and then it's dinner time, which I'm excited for. Alright, so now we're gonna get going with the final little bit of training for the day. So I'm gonna hit biceps, 5 sets on a cable preacher curl, and then 5 sets of delts, just some leaning dumbbell laterals. And we're gonna make our way back home and get our final meal in. So yeah, let's get going. Alright, let's get ready for dinner. This is probably my favorite meal. As with most people, appetite is highest in the evening, so I'm starving right now and I'm ready to get this down. What we've got is 200 grams of ostrich mince, once again. Got a full bag of spinach, so 200 grams of that. 500 grams, a half a kilo of pumpkin. I'm going to add some cinnamon, and when I say some, I mean lots and lots of cinnamon. And some sweetener onto that once that's cooked. Again, same thing as per the sweet potato and potato. Put it in the microwave, put a cover on, it steams, so this is about 8 minutes or so, and then it's perfect. Nice and soft, but not like gooey. Still a little bit of a bite to it, just perfectly cooked. Anyway, then this is pre-cooked. I make 2 servings at a time. Basically, half an onion, 200 grams of mushrooms, half a tomato with some balsamic vinegar and some herbs, just sauteed in the pan, and then some Coke Zero. Then I've got my gherkins for extra sodium, my sauerkraut for digestion and all of that good stuff. And then I've got my 6 little lentil cakes, and this is my sweet treat for the day, besides of course the cereal. And on 3 of them I put 15 grams of Biscoff on. This stuff is absolutely amazing. I actually only discovered this recently, and yeah, let's just say it's on par with anything chocolate, because I'm a big chocolatey person. And then the other 3 lentil cakes, we'll just do some strawberry jam. Before we get into that, I have my supplements that I take, last bit for the day. And in the evening I've got my SLU PP332. If you don't know what that is, go research it. It is a new thing and it is fantastic. So I have that before dinner. Then I have, what is this? This is my magnesium citrate. It's just easier to bring that along than take my powder everywhere I go. Omegas, vitamin B once again, and vitamin C once again. Taking note that my vitamin C I take morning and evening, so away from training, because we don't want inflammation to be inhibited. And then 5 milligrams of melatonin for sleep. So I'm going to get that down as things cook. And then some tea, and that's about it. That is my dinner, and that brings us to a total calorie intake of 937.2, with 74.1 grams of protein, 24.8 grams of fat, and 96.8 grams of carbs. And then total for today, I keep in mind my average throughout the week, because some days are higher, some days are lower. My average throughout the week is 3,850, but today is 3,929.9 calories, 316.6 grams of protein, 73 grams of fat, 478.5 grams of carbs. And then for interest's sake, total for the day is also 10,619.9 milligrams of potassium, 2,144.5 milligrams of calcium, 1,042.4 milligrams of magnesium just from food, 3,768.2 milligrams of sodium, 53.3 grams of what's this, iron, I think, yep. Sorry, 53.3 grams of fiber, 90.9 milligrams of iron, over 152,000 IUs of, no, that can't be right. Anyway, a ton of vitamin A from all my sweet potatoes and pumpkin and all of that. I think this number is wrong. Anyway, 2,018.2 milligrams of, what is this? Oh, come now. Of vitamin K. And then the spreadsheet is struggling big time. Wow. 38.5 milligrams of zinc, and then 24.4 grams of leucine, not including the BCAAs that I took during training. Anyway, that's a mouthful. I'm gonna get cooking, I'm gonna get stuck into it. But that was basically a day in my life, a very accurate day. Pretty much what a Tuesday looks like. And yeah, I have about half an hour, maybe 45 minutes to just relax, shut down, and then it's into bed, wake up the next morning for quiet time, faster cardio, and the whole shebang all over again. So yeah, appreciate everyone watching and tuning in, and if you like this sort of content, let me know what you would want to see next in the comment section. And yeah, this was a lot of fun. Thanks.